This is Becky, and this is Becky's House of Sewing, coming to you live from Becky's House of Sewing. This is my video podcast of all things thread and needle. This is my sweet puppy, Mia Louise. Isn't she cute? She's a little stinker. We'll get into that later. But I wanted just to check in again and tell you guys what I'm up to. I haven't been doing a ton of stitching because I've been doing a really large reorganization of my sewing room. I have a little bit of a vision that of where I wanted things to go and be able to find things and just sit down and sew. So I've been prepping for doing so. So I've had quilting cottons kind of piled up and everywhere, and have started projects which also are, Ron, do you remember what those are? WIPs, works in progress. Just kind of spread out everywhere, and I want to get them more together, like things together, so I can easily go to things. I am by no means 100% done, but I will say that I am probably a third of the way done. Like, I have all my shelving set up. I have my cross stitch and wool applique and hand sewing stuff together. I have my yardage, all my yardage folded neatly and kind of stacked by color. I'm looking over at it now. I have a lot of fabrics already pre-cut. I used the instructions in this book by Lori Holt. She also talks about it if you don't want to spend the money on this book, because it's about, it's just under $40, but it does have 32 quilt patterns in it and a lot of good instructions, and it's spiral, it's spiral bound, so things lay flat. I mean, don't you just want to look like that? My sewing room's starting to look like that. So, yeah. So she has a specific way that she cuts her fat quarters so that she has the sizes that she needs to just pretty much make anything, which is kind of what I wanted to have done. And then I did, of course, continue to cross stitch. So I'll show you the two things I've been kind of focusing on a little bit. I have a few things that I've purchased, but it felt good today. Like, I've been cutting, ironing, cutting. You still see I have some stuff here on my ironing board. This is some yardage that I discovered as I went to go fold it. It was like I'd cut some chunks out of it, so I do want to cut some of it up and make fat quarters out of it and fold it up. So this is kind of like the last of what was piled up on my chair, and it just felt like I would come in and work every day for an hour or two, like after work or whatever, and it just felt like the more I did, the more it came back, kind of like Furbles from Star Trek or Gremlins. When they got wet, they just multiplied. And I still have a lot of fabric to go through, but I'm almost at capacity for what I cut. So I have those things in bins, and I think as I continue to make things, I can just cut up and go. Everything is at least in a contained fashion. So I feel really good about where I'm at. So let me talk to you about what I did. Let me put the Mia down. Mia, do you want to tell them what you did, Mia? Do you see her new jewelry? She got a little GPS action because she disappeared one night. Look at that sweet angel. So it was a classic mix-up where her dad thought she was with me and I thought she was with her dad. And she had scurried out the door at some point when we had the door open, and nobody knew. And we still don't really know, like, we can't really pinpoint how long she was out. But it was one of those nights that we had a freeze, and it was dark. It was like 8:30 at night. and both Mike and I were pretty scared we couldn't find her. But after 30 minutes of looking around and taking some fast-paced walks around the neighborhood, I came back to the house and I got a bag of treats and I shook it and called her name, shook it and called her name, and walked down the street in our neighborhood in a direction I hadn't gone yet. And here comes this cute little thing that I was able to scoop up. Now, I know she did not call because I called her name. She came to me because I had the treat bag, and I don't really care how she came to me. But because she's a miniature dachshund, she's littler, and we have a lot of hills. And I will be honest, we've had 3 dogs. She's our 3rd dog now. We have at one point or another had all 3 dogs have, gone missing at one point or another. Luckily, we are blessed that all dogs have been returned. And Mia came back to us right after I called Ron and Connie for help. I'm like, she's lost. I don't know where she is. And I hung up and I literally saw her run to me. And, my husband came up and Ron had come out. I said, Ron, please tell Connie she's getting dressed. Tell her to stop getting dressed. So we're lucky that she came back to us, and she promptly got a little GPS device so we can now track her butt if she ever leaves. So, I had some fun today visiting with a friend at lunch, and then we went to my mother-in-law's for dinner, and we ate at the restaurant at the place that my mother-in-law lives. So, no Mia for a lot of the day. It's not been fun for Mia. Or honestly, was not fun for Mommy either. Okay, back to the reorg. So, there are 5 different cuts that Lori Holt suggests to make. And again, it's on her YouTube channel, and it's in her book. So if you choose to dig into it a little bit more, go to those places. It's easy to tell you what the sizes are, but I don't want to necessarily give Lori's information away. She should be getting some of the glory. And even though I'm giving her credit for it now, you know what I mean. It's her system. So if you're interested in knowing the sizes, either I encourage you greatly to buy the book, Scrappiness is Happiness by Lori Holt, or go to her YouTube channel. And she again breaks it down in a couple of different episodes. So she's a wealth of information. She is busy as a bee. And she does really pretty work and makes and does all the things. So I don't know how she does it, but I admire her work, and so go there and see. But she has 5 different cuts. So what I did, because I work at the Container Store, I don't know if you know this, I got our deep sweater bins. Look at that. I got 4 of those. And then we have a regular sweater bin. This one was the deep, so the sweater one is just basically half the size. And I have one of those for the 5th cut that is the smallest cut that I had the least of. I guess I can go ahead and say this is the 2.5-inch strips. Look how full it is. So imagine this was completely empty when I started. It is now full and very heavy. It is ready for me to power up. And I will say the other 3 sizes that are in the deep sweater bins, they're just as full. So I'm really excited. It's really fun to see how much I have. And then let's see. I might switch my camera around here so you guys can see a little bit of my sewing room. See if I can turn around. Hold on. Why are you being weird? Alright, I'll just do it this way. I don't want to do it that way. Okay. It's going to not let me do it. So let me just spin you around. Now, with this said, I am not done. So There are still some shelves that are messy and not organized yet, that I haven't figured out exactly how I want them. But again, the stuff that I'm going to show you is pretty cool. So I'm going to so this is, let me move this down, my hand sewing area. So I used, again, I work at the Container Store. I don't know if I've told you this. So this is all Elfa shelving. The best part about it is that it's all rearrangeable. And I've had the brown printed, like these shelves here, I guess for like 13 years now. I got them when I lived in Raleigh and I first started with the Container Store. And I've reconfigured them in a lot of different positions. So we no longer carry that color anymore. So you'll see a mixture. You can see right there that one is a different color right there where my finger is. So there's a couple different colors, but I'm pleased with that they at least blend in a little bit. So I use my pegboards, and I have, because I like to do the floss drops now, so I have my flosses there and my frames there. I have patterns of all different kinds and different books and references there. Next up is my TV and a Elfa drawer unit for my Cricut, which I love, and I have like Cricut supplies on the side. And then here's the piece de resistance right here. Let's see if I can scoop you up a little bit. So there you go. So down below, down there, are going to be like projects and things that are in like pre-cuts that I have, and also like that brown one right there. That's all fabric for one quilt that I have in my mind that I haven't made yet. And then you can see that hole there right here is where I got my 2.5 bins. And up above is all my fabric, all my yardage fabric, folded up neatly. I kind of did it by color. It's not 100% exact yet. So that is a quick tour of what I've been doing. It's been a lot of work. And, you know, you have to pace yourself. A lot of repetitive work. I, fought a little carpal tunnel syndrome stuff, little tennis elbow situation, or should I say rotary cutter elbow. So really just trying to break it up and, not do too much. I still have the 6-foot table, folding table up in the living room that I had. A lot of stuff I just had to bring out there to kind of sort. And I don't have any more fabric out there, and a lot of the stuff that, there's only a little bit of stuff that needs to come back. I need to kind of figure that out, but I like to get rid of that in the next week so I can get a little bit more of my living room back and not be a storage unit, so to speak. But I feel really good about where I'm at. So a lot of the fabric in bins down right below me, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got like 9 more sweater bins, like regular sweater bins, full of fabric that needs to be cut up and sorted. So still got some work for me. But I have stuff like this that I've found. Through the years, I've gotten a lot of gifted fabric or estate sale fabric where I've known somebody whose mother passed away and they had a lot of fabric and you could buy it real inexpensively. And for example, I got all these finished today. These are 5-inch squares, and I'm just gonna, again, they were clearly cut out for some kind of pattern, but I'm just gonna sew them together. And if I even just make it as a charity quilt for the Charlotte Quilters Guild, at least it's made and out in the world and making more room for the things that I want to focus on. So I'm excited to eventually get these ironed out and make 4 patches out of them. And a 4 patches literally just 4 squares. One of the most common blocks to make, 4 patch, 9 patches, that sort of thing, and to see what kind of scrappy quilt I can make. Mia, what are you doing? Mia, what are you doing? I have no idea what she was eating, but she was eating something. So, ever since the quilt show, that's what I've been working on. And I've, of course, not neglected my cross stitch 100%. So let me bend over and get the 2 things I've been working on most. Yes, you're adorable. So I've worked on mostly Wilbur from Teresa Kogut. Let's see if I can pull that up. Probably be easiest to do that. I've been working on, words are hard sometimes. So when I've been cross-stitching, I've been using Good Notes that Nicole of Nicole Needleworks suggested to use, and I have honestly fallen in love with it. It's been so helpful and such an easy way to cross-stitch, and what I like most about it is that this app reads across my devices. So I can upload it, and if I want to go cross-stitch with my other cross-stitch group in person, I can use my phone or my iPad, and everything is updated when I get home. So I don't have to deal with a paper sheet, and I can enlarge the chart and really see what I'm working on. So let me get to Wilbur by Teresa Kogut. So this is Wilbur. Isn't he cute? I got the PDF pattern off of Etsy from Teresa Kogut's shop. It has a lot of shading. So let me pull it out. And it's not ironed, so you're welcome. These are the threads. It's a combination of DMC, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Color Works. Now when you see these, and it's not, I don't have amazing lighting, it's late at night on a Wednesday, March 24th, can you believe it? But they don't read pig to me here. But they do read pig when you see it. So pretty, so cute. And it has my bunny needle miner on it. So here's my progress. Let me get the nice thing about being right in front of my cutting board is that I have all these things at my disposal. I can just lean over and get stuff. So let's see if this will work. Is that better? Look how cute. That's my bunny needle minder, excuse me. I got that off of Etsy as well. So he's a little piggies. But you can see in his other ear that I haven't completed yet, there's so much shading. I had to put him down for a little while. I just got kind of like tired of doing Ron. Sometimes we call that confetti stitching, where you just do like one stitch in the middle of nowhere and then another stitch very far apart and not necessarily in rows. And that's how Wilbur looks so cute, is he's got so much shading to him, but sometimes it's not fun to stitch. But he's almost done, and I feel like I caught up some wind on that. What I have in this cute little bag is some new glasses, readers, magnification. That's always needed, like how you can see it's magnified. So I got these on Amazon. They come in a pack of 4, and I think they were like $17 for 4. So they're pretty, and they're just the half ones. So when I'm doing my work and I'm watching TV, I can look up without hurting my eyes too badly. I still use a really low magnification. I was using 1.5s and I was struggling a little bit to see my 40 count. And honestly, I was just kind of struggling. So I went to a 2. And I can see my 46 that Mrs. Campbell is on, but I haven't worked on her much, if at all, since last I showed you, so I didn't bring her in. But it's been very helpful, and I get concerned, like a lot of my friends will, and a lot of floss tubers will use a higher magnification, but I find that after I'm stitching for a while, even if they're half moon, my regular eyesight is affected, and so I want to, being a woman close to 50, not to 50 yet, just close to it, I just want to protect my eyes and not make them worse. So going up to 2s doesn't feel too horrible for me. And I have a Dazor light from my mom and my grandmother from the 80s. I'm sure they bought it in, and it's still going strong. And that has a magnification in it too, so if I need something really detailed, I can always use that magnifying. It's just sometimes not as easy to zoom with the light in front of me, and because it's an older light, it doesn't always stay in place. Kind of, it's one of those gooseneck ones, and it kind of like will drift or not stay in the right place. So holding the magnification and trying to stitch is a little annoying. The other thing I worked on, which I am in love with, that's right, I said the word, I'm in love, and I don't care who knows about it. Who knows what that's from? Elf, one of my favorite movies. And this is a unicorn, a peacock, and a badger. This is a picture of the finish. I believe it's by the Scarlet Letter. I'm using all the called for DMCs. It is a full coverage. There are some people who have gotten green fabric and not done the background. I say nay, nay. But because it's full coverage, I didn't want to get a real fancy material. So this is just a regular Zweigart. It's vintage country mocha, so it does have some dyeing, but it's, I believe it's printed on there. It's only on one side. So you can see, can you see how it's a little mottled? This needle minder I got at the quilt show, the Charlotte Quilters Guild, I want to say California. I don't live in California. It's the Carolina Lily quilt show. And I'm just getting my thing back. So this is where I'm at with it. I started in the upper right hand corner, and you can kind of see where the full coverage is. I've done an outline. Here I'm using 40 count vintage country mocha. Isn't that wood needle minder cute? And I really, I know I haven't done much there, but I so love this project. I'm really glad it's big, so it will take me a long time to do. So it'll be in my life for a long time. Here, let me show you it's only got 29 thread colors in it. And here's the colors. All the pretty colors. See if I can spread it out a little bit more. And obviously some of those are multi-skeins of the same color kind of deal. So that's the cross stitch I've been working on. I showed you the glasses I got and the needle minder I've gotten. The other thing I got at the Carolina Lily show is this from the same woodworking guy, and he is wood quilt box by Thomas R. Hannon in Manassas, Virginia. Oops. Mia, leave that alone. Here, let me see if I can show you the back. If you're interested, you can reach out to him. He had all kinds of cool stuff. But this is a wood magnetic pin heap, which I really liked. I got one for me and one for my mama, because I love her. And then I got the needle minder. I could have bought everything of his, but yeah, girl's got to save her shekels for other things. Got to pay the bills, you know. So I think that's all I've bought. I really, I've had this overwhelming sense of gratitude of how much stuff I have that I just want to make what I have. I'm not pronouncing that I'm not going to buy anything or anything like that, but I just want to play with what I have so much. So I just want to continue to pipe out some stuff. I also think that what I'm going to do is make some scrappy stationery by sewing some of my sewing scraps onto cards. And I also think I'm going to make some project bags to sell, because I enjoy making both of those things, and I certainly have the fabric to use. So be on the lookout for more information on that when I get to a good spot. I would like to pump some of that out. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Becky's House of Sewing actually becoming a house of sewing, a store. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Not in a hurry to do anything. I'm just, it gives me a little excitement, a little butterfly feeling in my tummy. So that is all I have for this week, or, you know, the last couple weeks. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy your sewing time, and I will see you next time. Bye.